In the business that we're in as well, we have a lot of people that have become very successful, and their mark of their success is either buying a vintage timepiece that's something they had at one time or something they've always coveted, or something that shows they've arrived. And we have those people. It's the same thing where we probably have, somebody, that they either had the car, 30 years ago, 40 years ago now. They had the car, or they've always wanted the car. They've always, desired that car. And so those are probably the people that come to you because now they can afford for how they want it.
Yeah, I mean, I have a guy who has 300 cars in his collection. Once we finish one, and these won't be the huge builds, but each build is half of a huge build. We're just fixing up and making the car better. And as soon as we get that done, he brings another one. And as soon as we get that one done, another one. Right now we have 5 of his cars.
In the watch field, we try to rebuild and give people what they want. Try to give them their dreams as well.
Right.
And where do you see the clientele? Do you see any correlation between the clientele? Again, we have mechanical timepieces where we have, parts working in perfect symphony, together, or they don't work. And same thing, we can have a very upset customer if it doesn't work. Do you see the same kind of thing?
It's 100% the same.
Yeah.
I mean, my whole goal not only is to build toys, really, but it's the customer relations. That's a huge part of it. That's why I encourage everybody to come in all the time, as much as they want. If they ever have a problem, whenever. If they have the car for 3 years and I don't hear from them, they have a problem, just call me. We're huge on that here. And we fix it and give it right back to them.
There you go.
Yeah, there's no questions. I don't care what they did. But yeah, it's a huge part of it. And then they'll be back. You treat them great, they'll be back.
That's one thing I found too, doing a restoration. I see people, they want everything documented. Where I'll take the watch apart and I'll have all the parts laid out, everything documented on the watch, how it's going back together. Some people even ask for videos that we've done, like a time lapse of how the watch goes back together, components have changed, stuff like that. So I assume you probably get the same questions, don't you? They want to see pictures along the way?
Yeah, I hired a guy just to take pictures along the way, update the website. So they want to see it built. Yeah. We'll text them pictures during the week. When we cut a quarter off, we'll get a picture. As we're building the car piece by piece, you can see it. If you put them all together, come apart and go back together.
Timeline.
Yeah.
Your timeline of what's happening on the.
Yeah, exactly. You can see what stage it's in, if the bodywork has started yet. How close to paint. That's really part of it. To keep them involved, you have to keep them involved to keep them excited.
Exactly.
To make them want to finish the car.
Yeah, that's got to be a scary thing too when you start something and it's not going to be done for a year. Something like.
It's not scary to me, but to them it has to be. But keeping that interest and letting them make the decisions, some of the decisions, or guiding them into the right decisions.
I do the same thing.
Since you build the same car almost the same way all the time, it makes it easier.
Yeah.
Like a Nova and a Camaro and it's a car and you want all that modern stuff, but just to guide the customer to the good products, and steer them away.
And the same thing, you can probably steer them away when they're going to make a mistake.
Yeah.
I do the same thing on a watch. If I know, I want to change the hands. No, you don't want to change the hands because you want to keep the vintage look of it. We have a lot of the vintage stuff, nobody wants them refinished anymore. 10 years ago, we were polishing everything and changing everything. And now it's just entirely different.
Yeah, you can't build one of these cars and then put the old school mirrors back on.
Right.
It'll ruin the whole project.
Yeah.
It'll ruin the entire project. Just 1-2 little pieces will ruin the whole thing. And
that's where it comes into where you have to steer that customer.
Right.
It's a delicate steering too. We cater to our clientele. We have to, and but it gives me a satisfaction as well. Anytime I can present something to somebody and say, here's your timepiece restored. It's a different kind of satisfaction. You hate to see something leave, but I never want to see it again either.